In the part 1 of this recap, John Wick is wanted dead by the table. He wants to free himself by killing Marquis in a duel. To do so, he needs the crest of a family, so as to allow his duel request to be accepted. To get the family crest, he needs to kill a man named Killa. He goes to meet Killa, only to find 2 assassins waiting for him. Killa decides that they should play cards, to show the one who lives and dies. Killa wins by cheating. John uses the cards to cut the side of Killa's neck, and also uses it to kill one of his guards. Nobody calls out to his dog to attack another guard. Kane also stands up and starts shooting at the guards in front of him. He throws a grenade which blinds them. John goes after Killa and through a crowd. Killa's men attack him and he kills them whilst moving forward. He gets to Killa's place and they start to fight each other. Killa beats John up and even kicks him from the first floor. Some men attack John and he finds difficulty in defending himself. Killa comes and start to beat up John. John stabs the wound on Killa's neck and he runs. Kane uses his sword to kill his remaining attackers and nobody also uses his martial arts skills to defend himself. Guards with axes also attack John. They are beaten to a pulp and killed in the process. John throws an axe to pierce Killa's butt. He then pushes Killa off the stairs and he lands while breaking his neck. John takes Killa's tooth for proof of assassination. He leaves and nobody points a gun at him from a far distance. Kane puts a sword on nobody's neck prompting him to stop. John goes to his family and a ritual is done. The crest is attached to his hand using a hot metal. Winston, as John's representative, goes to the Marquis to propose John's willingness to fight him in a duel. Marquis tries not to accept but Winston persuades him. Marquis further tells Winston that, according to the rules on the duel, a representative either walks away with his champion or is buried beside him. John, Winston, Marquis, and Kane meet with the Harbinger to set the date and style of duel. They propose they use the ancient gunfight of which they will start from 30 paces. They will also deduct 10 paces each, when they both fail to kill each other until they are close enough to do so. Marquis nominates Kane to be his representative. Winston's hotel will be built back and John's life will be free from the table. They decide the time for the fight to be at sunrise. Failure to come at the appointed time will result in immediate execution. Marquis tells John Wick that he is a killer and John replies saying that, "This killer is going to kill you." John leaves with Winston. He goes to the chapel and meets Kane. They have a heart-to-heart talk and agree that their gunfight won't be personal. John goes to an underground alley. He meets a man and the gate is opened for him. He goes to meet Winston and King. They greet each other. King gives a bulletproof suit to John telling him that a man has to look his best when he is getting married or getting buried. Marquis puts a bounty on John Wick. The message is being broadcasted by a black female. Assassins from the city with nobody included, hear this message. The assassins start to pack up their weapons and start the hunt for John Wick. John also hears this and tells King that he is going to need a gun. He gets the gun and King takes him on a boat underground. John tells Winston to write on his tomb, "A loving husband," when he dies. John is seen on the road and his location is being broadcasted to the assassins. Some men attack him on the road carrying guns and other weapons. A car comes to hit John while still driving. He shoots the man and takes his car. He rides the car and gets to a roundabout. He is chased by more men. John turns his car around and shoots the one on his tail. He encounters some men in cars shooting at him. He drives the car in a circular motion whilst killing them. A car rams into John's car and it somersaults. He gets out and kills the drivers. GD attacks John. They fight and we see John losing. Moving cars separate them and hits GD. Some more men attack John in the middle of the road. He kills them using the moving cars and his guns. Nobody calls Marquis asking for $40 million. He agrees and bounty on John is raised up. GD tries to kill John and nobody's dog stops him. Chidi throws the dog away to hit a vehicle. The tough dog stands on his feet barking at Chidi. John takes a bike and escapes with it. He is trapped in an alleyway. He uses his bike to hit another biker and they shoot at him. John goes into a building and take cover. The assassins follow him inside. John kills them one after the other. He meets a man with an explosive weapon. He uses the weapon against most of the other assassins. Nobody is being attacked. He uses his backpack to protect himself from the bullets and kills his attackers. He is caught up in a shootout. He calls his dog to take out the shooter and it does so. Nobody and John are seen shooting at each other. They both fight hand to hand and John is seen to be chalking Nobody. Chidi tries to shoot Nobody's dog when John saves it by shooting the Chidi off the stairs. John runs through a window and lands on a car. He gets to a stairs that leads to the venue of the duel. Harbinger readies his gun to shoot Winston if John doesn't represent himself. John is met with over 40 assassins waiting for him at the stairs. The two closest attack and John kills them both. He continues to kill the others using any technique he knows. He kills the assassins and throws them down the stairs. He almost gets to his destination when he meets Chidi and his men. Chidi kicks John and he rolls down the stairs to the bottom where he begun. Kane comes and asks John about the time he has till sunrise. John says 3 minutes maximum. Kane helps John up and they both prepare for the fight ahead. They fight Chidi's men, killing them off one after the other. Kane uses his sword and gun as weapons to finish off his attackers. Nobody targets John. He looks at the sad face of his dog and changes his mind. He instead shoots Chidi down and Kane uses this opportunity to knock him out. The dog attacks Chidi and Nobody kills him. Before the dog leaves, it pisses on Chidi's body and follows Nobody. They get to the venue and Kane stabs John's hand, telling him that he owes him for offering his help. They both take off their suits and the guns are given to them. Marquis gives a bullet to Kane whilst Winston does same to John. They both move 30 paces and turn to meet each other. The signal is given and they both shoot. John is grazed on his arm while Kane has a bullet in his. They move 20 paces and the signal is given. They shoot and Kane has a bullet through the side of his stomach. John also has one through his collarbone. Winston gives the third bullet to John and asks him to just kill Kane. Marquis also gives a bullet to Kane. They move 10 paces. The both shoot and John fall to the ground. Nobody has a sad look on his face when he sees John on the ground. Marquis, sensing his victory, goes to replace Kane and loads his weapon. He considers Kane and his daughter free and goes to shoot John. Winston calls Marquis an arrogant fool and tells him that John didn't shoot his last bullet. Marquis turns around and John shoots him in the forehead. Nobody smiles and the Harbinger tells John that Winston's hotel will rebuild and he is also free from the table. Kane says thank you to John and leaves. John asks Winston to take him home. He sits on the stairs reminiscing about the time with his late wife. He falls to the ground and dies. His funeral is being held by King and Winston. They write a loving husband on his tomb and they leave. Kane is seen taking flowers to his daughter. Akira, the daughter of Koji, draws out her knife and approaches Kane. And the movie ends. The moral of this story is that we shouldn't disrespect the people we meet, for we might not know what they are capable of.